Did you know your favorite Christmas flower was named after a spy? So, this flower was known as the Cuetlaxóchitl to the Aztecs and later as Flor de Nochebuena to the Mexican people, but we know it as a poinsettia because while Joel Roberts Poinsett was in Mexico, he took cuttings of the plant, then grew it in his greenhouse in South Carolina. He was a botanist and he collected lots of specimens, but this one grew really well and bloomed around Christmas, so he would give it to friends and family as gifts around the holidays. That's how the plant got its start and kind of got its association with Christmas here in the United States. But for better or worse, Poinsett was much more than a botanist. So in 1810, he was named as a special agent to South America and was tasked with protecting the United States commercial interests there, but also as an intelligence gathering agent to inform the United States about the revolutionary rumblings that were happening there against Spain. In fact, he got so involved that as a U.S. agent, he ended up joining and fighting in the Chilean Revolution. When he came home to South Carolina, he was elected into the State House of Representatives and later into the U.S. House of Representatives. He worked against nullification in his home state of South Carolina and was then appointed as the first U.S. minister to Mexico. That did not go so well. In fact, the word poinsettismo was coined to describe U.S. diplomats and their meddling behavior. He was named as the Secretary of War under Martin Van Buren, and unfortunately, during his tenure, he was tasked with implementing the Indian Removal Act, which of course resulted in the Trail of Tears. He was a slaveholder, but was against secession, and other than the naming of the flower, one of his best legacies is that he was instrumental in founding something called the National Institute for the Promotion of Science and the Useful Arts, which later morphed into something much easier to say. It is now known as the Smithsonian Institution. So while you're at your family's holiday gathering this Christmas, you can look at their poinsettias and tell them all about the flower and the man who they were named for.